Osborne Digital has been absolutely amazing. I actually first heard about when I was going through YouTube University. I was looking through YouTube, right? And I came across one of your feeds, and Harry was on there being interviewed. And before that, I was like, man, there has to be something better than this. Because when I'm driving the clients, right, around, my phone's ringing. I'm like, you don't want to answer the phone as you're driving. You want to be safe. You want to stay engaged with your client. And it was just I was working more in and on the business, and I didn't really want that lifestyle. So I saw that. I thought it was good. I contacted Harry. He contacted me in less than 24 hours, which was great because when you're dealing with business, sometimes people don't contact you at all, or it takes them a week. So he contacted me right away and kind of got started. I told him what the vision was that we had for the business, and he got started on the plan immediately.
Hey guys, welcome back to NEMT Van Talks. I'm Jasmine,
And I'm Monica.
and we're the owners of an NEMT business based here in California. Now, today we have two special guests joining us. We have James of MediZoom Transportation, and making a return, we have Harry of Osborne Digital. Now, you may be familiar with Harry of Osborne Digital as we have featured him in a previous video where his digital marketing services helped enhance visibility for one of our fellow NEMT providers in her community. So, I would like to thank both of you guys for stepping onto our platform. And I'm just ready to give some wonderful information to our community about how MediZoom is making an impact in the community you guys serve, but also Harry, the marketing strategies that you have in place to help NEMT providers. So welcome.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome, welcome. Just like Jackson mentioned, we're so honored to have you both on our platform. So we have put together some amazing questions and we're just going to go ahead and get started. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the first question is for you, James. Tell us about you and your business. How did MediZoom come to light? Like, give us a little background about you and how this all started for you.
So first and foremost, I want to say thank you for having me on your platform. It's truly appreciated, and I'm absolutely honored to be here. And just a little bit about myself. I'm a recently retired combat medic, served in the Navy over 20 years, have a background in Navy medicine. I was a former EMT. Um, Recently moved here from Hawaii into Ventura County. And my wife and I started a non-emergency medical transportation here in Ventura County that provides wheelchair and ambulatory services. So we saw that there was a really huge need for medical transportation here because it's a huge retirement community. So we thought it'd be something that'd be great for this particular area.
James, it sounds like you have an extensive background in, military now transitioning to civilian life and, still being of service to your community in Ventura County. So that's very impressive. So I do have a question for you. My question is, what inspired you to start an NEMT business and how has your background as a veteran influenced your approach?
Yeah, that's a great question. So well, I know what inspired me to do this is I still wanted to be of service, but on a different level. So before, serving in the Navy, it's kind of worldwide service, but now I just wanted to be of service to my community. So, like you said, I do have a lot of experience, whether it's tactical, medical training, training in the hospital, clinic settings. And I just thought it'd be something that'd be great for the community. We saw there was a huge need. My wife actually helped me come up with the plan because, I was really looking for something to do. And she's like, James, why don't you do something with medical transportation? You have all of this knowledge, all of this experience. And that I think that'd be something and I thought about it and I actually went home to Texas. There was a death in the family, and there was people in my family that needed medical transportation, and I saw how hard it was for them to get transportation. So I felt like that'd be something that'd be good to get into here in Ventura County.
Awesome. Now, let me ask you this. What was there one exact thing that really stood out in Ventura County where you were just like, okay, transportation is a barrier here in this specific location?
Mhm.
Yeah, so my experience was I was coming out of the store one day and I saw somebody that was waiting for a ride, right? They were on crutches and they were like, my medical transportation was late, so they had to call like an Uber or Lyft. And they said they'd been waiting there for 30, 45 minutes. And I thought, and it wasn't the first time, I started a conversation. It wasn't the first time that it had happened to them. So I actually gave them a ride myself. So, and they just continued to talk to me about, the issues there, and I think that was just the first sign that, it was needed here in this community.
Now, did that conversation happen after your wife bought NEMT to you as far as like, hey, you need to start this business, or was it before?
Yeah, it was actually after. It was actually after.
Oh,
So it was for me, that was just more confirmation, right? So I
Yeah.
was like, man, let me just go ahead and do it. And there was a real fear about it, right? So the thing that I kept coming back to me is if you can survive a deployment, 7, 8 month deployment in Afghanistan where there's bombs and everything, and you're caring for women and children and that kind of environment, you can do this. You know what I mean? So whenever I have moments of doubt, I always think about that. And if I survive that, then, I can do anything.
Yeah.
oh, that's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
hmm
So, James, with all of that you just shared, like how long did it really take you to launch your business from beginning to end? Like from the time you saw that person standing out with crutches to the vision that your wife gave you to finally just pull the trigger to make it happen.
Yeah. So I actually started the LLC in June of 2023, right? But we actually didn't get all the cars, the vans, the insurance, and get started till probably July of 2024, and that's after attending classes that's given through the military, um, and doing all the market research, getting the wraps, getting the insurance, and those things that come before you actually start driving, right? So
Yeah.
it took a little bit over a year.
So, I have another question for you. What do you believe sets your veteran-owned NEMT business apart from others in your region?
Yeah, great question. So, just like we talked about earlier, that military background and knowing what values we hold and principles and ethics that we have, I think that was a solid foundation for us to grow with, especially being in this medical transportation space, you're dealing with such a vulnerable population, right? So
Yeah.
there's real care that needs to be given to this service that we are providing. So I think that background, that education, that knowledge, that base that we have, I think that carries us.
So, James, let me ask you this. What marketing strategies did you initially put in place to increase your visibility within your community?
Yeah, so in all my infinite wisdom, I thought that just creating a Google profile, a Yelp, profile, walking kind of door to door, going to visit all these businesses would help. But that first, the second, and third week, I was sitting there looking at the wall, going insane, and I was like, there has to be a better way. I'm driving in the van trying to, just get business, but it really wasn't working that well. It's very frustrating. And I'd be lying if I didn't say I didn't have moments where I was like, I'm done with this, but that's kind of how we started. Very frustrating.
Now, let me ask you this because as NEMT business owners, and we've been in business for a little over 5 years, we still have those moments where we are faced with challenges and tough times. And yeah, we say, you know what, I'm just ready to be done with this. And for us, what keeps us grounded is knowing the impact that we have on the community and the population of people that truly need our services. So, what is it for you that keeps you in the game of NEMT?
Great question. So I think you're right. I think just seeing the smile that you bring to people when you get them from point A to point B in a safe, reliable manner. I believe that when you know you're a cut above everybody else when they say, hey, this was great, this was better than my last transport, thank you so much. When they talk to you, when I pick up some of the veterans, they talk to you and they say, hey, what do you do? And we get a conversation going, and they're happy to talk to somebody that knows what they've been through and that can relate. I just think bringing that type of service, bringing that feeling to them, I think that's what warms my heart, really.
Awesome. Now, going back to marketing, I know that you've done some work with Harry of Osborne Digital, and I want to know, how did you hear about Osborne Digital's services and products that they offer?
Yeah, so Harry Osborne Digital has been absolutely amazing. I actually first heard about when I was going through YouTube University. I was looking through YouTube, right? And I came across one of your feeds, and Harry was on there being interviewed. And before that, I was like, man, there has to be something better than this. Because when I'm driving the clients, right, around, my phone's ringing, I'm like, you don't want to answer the phone as you're driving. You want to be safe. You want to stay engaged with your client. And it was just I was working more in and on the business, and I didn't really want that lifestyle. So I saw that. I thought it was good. I contacted Harry. He contacted me in less than 24 hours, which was great because when you're dealing with business, sometimes people don't contact you at all, or it takes them a week. So he contacted me right away and kind of got started. I told him what the vision was that we had for the business, and he got started on the plan immediately.
That's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah, awesome. So, how has your experience been so far with Osborne Digital products?
Oh, it's been great. It's been great. Sometimes I have these grand ideas, and Harry kind of talks to me and say, "Okay, do you really want to do this? Because if you do this, then this may happen." So, Harry's been very responsive. He's talked me through, the ins and outs, the cause and effect. He takes his time and shows me, okay, if we do this, this will happen. If you do this, that'll happen. So I'm just very appreciative and thankful that, I had an opportunity to meet Harry. He's very professional, very knowledgeable. Because to be honest, I didn't really want to get into Google Analytics. I don't want to get into the weeds of all of that, and building other code things that related to code, if that makes sense.
Okay, James. So, I have another follow-up question to that. What services are you currently using with Osborne Digital?
Yeah, so at MediZoom, we're using the chatbot. We use the social media platform management. We've used a couple other things, but we're kind of playing with it right now. But we've used a number of different services with Osborne Digital, which has really saved us, time.
And I think that is what's most important
Mhm.
um, for um, for NEMT business owners, because when we are in the process of, launching our business, running our business, time is of essence, right? And like you said, you were owner operator driving, your phone's ringing, so essentially you have to figure out a way to make it work, because when your phone is ringing, those are potentially missed opportunities because you can't answer. So Harry, when you introduced the chat bot in our previous video, I was so excited about that because, if individuals have questions, they can go directly to the website and type in their question and get a response right away rather than waiting for a callback.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
think that's awesome. So, Harry, I definitely want to speak with you to talk a little bit more about the products and services that MediZoom is utilizing right now in their business.
Yeah, absolutely. So as James mentioned before, he utilized us for getting his business kind of jump started with the Google advertising, and that's really a spark plug to any business, new NEMT business that wants to get started. It's a way to scale your name outside to your community, right? Because you can't reach every single person on your own or by boots on the ground. Google advertising is a way to reach as many people in your community as possible at the lowest cost. James is also utilizing what we call a platform called High Level, and it's a CRM software that we've designed. So think about it like this, right? When James talks about saving time in his business, he's really talking about all those little intricacies that need to go on day to day in order for his business to operate, right? I'll give you an example. So think about when a person books a ride on your website, right? How do you get them an invoice or a quote for them to think over how much it's going to cost to accept that ride, right? How do you confirm the ride pickup time, right? So normally you would give them a call like, hey, is this time right? Because we know things change day to day, right? Because appointment times change as well. So you need a mechanism in order to capture those changes, right? And if you don't have a mechanism, you're going to spend time doing it on your own. And then the second part of that is, once that ride is complete, how are you gathering the feedback from the customers, right? How are you asking them to leave you a Google review or a Facebook review or a Yelp review in order to maximize their experience? Because the reputation part of that fits hand in hand with the Google advertising. Because when people research your business or you pop up as a um, potential business that they can use, they want to research a business to make sure that, okay, they're a reputable company, they've got reviews, people who are also looking for the services had a good experience. So that goes hand in hand. And the high level system that we'll talk about here in a few minutes, it bundles all those automations. So you don't have to step in and do those little things in your business automatically done for you. It saves you a ton of time per day and per week. And James can kind of attest to some of his experience with the system as well and how much time it saved him. But it's definitely a must have, especially for any current or new NEMT that has some of those same needs.
Yeah, I see James. He's nodding his head. He's like, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, Harry, is this the business in the box? Is that the new product launch that?
Yeah, so this is the new NEMT business in a box. So last year we talked a lot about chatbots and Google advertising. We still offer those services, of course, but that last year was a lot about how do I attract customers to my business. Now we're trying to graduate, going to the next phase, and now we're more so talking about how do I keep my customers? How do I continuously engage with my customer base, right? And in order to do that, you have to have systems in place and processes in place. So we have created the system for NEMT. So do you want to go ahead and get into it, or do you want to?
Well, first of all, Harry, I just like to say, like, I love the name NEMT in
Okay.
a box. And
Yep.
you did just give us a whole bunch of information about this new product. And so we do want to see it. So yes, can you please share with us what does the inside of this product look like? Give us some more. We want more of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me share my screen, and we're going to talk about some of the fun stuff, right? Um, so we talked about who we are, Osborne Digital. We're probably the only marketing agency that specializes in NEMT. We have clients all across the country. But the NEMT box is essentially like what you're thinking, right? It's everything you need from a process, almost everything you need from a process standpoint to run an NEMT business, right? That's on the private pay side. So that's collecting payments, confirming rides, building websites, sending out ride confirmations, email marketing, being able to have all of those things for your business in one place, right? A lot of times we've dealt with clients who've had 4 or 5 different subscriptions to different services. They've got a Calendly link. They've got some type of call tracking software. They've got another CRM software somewhere. They've got their WordPress website on another platform. So all those subscriptions equal money, right? So in order for you to save money, you have to consolidate those into one system. Essentially, this is what the high level NEMT business in a box does for your business. So you've got all those things. You're able to collect payments from customers. You're able to send them out text message confirmations. They're able to book a ride. You're able to actually build your website on the platform as well. So what we do is we have 10 to 12 templates that we have shown to actually work in the marketplace, and we have our clients choose from those 10 to 12 website templates, and we're able to build your website right on the platform for probably a fraction of the cost that it would take for you to go to a web developer to build something more custom. So that's how we're helping our clients save money there. Yeah, we talked about, okay, my business has this already, right? So we talked about all those monthly subscriptions that you could potentially have for your business. For email marketing, you got MailChimp, you've got HubSpot, you've got your website on Wix or WordPress. So all those, all of those features or systems, in order for you to save money, you have to be able to consolidate those into one system. And that's exactly what this high level system does, right? So I wanted to show a demo really quick if that's okay with you guys. It's just to be a real quick demo just to kind of give them a feel for what the system is, what it looks like. Do we have time for that? Just want to double check.
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, this is the high level system that we were talking about, the business in a box. So it's got everything you would potentially need for your business, right? You have your calendar, you have your conversation, which kind of holds your email conversations as well as text message conversations. You can store all of your contacts here, collect payments, do all of your marketing, and have your website built right in the platform as well. So one of the big time savers is the automations behind everything, right? Because we talked about the process from when somebody books a ride on your website to actually confirming their ride, collecting their payment, and asking them about their experience. Since we've built out all the automations for that, this is essentially what you are purchasing from us. You purchase the system, you get all the automations that come along with running your business. The other good thing about this is that all of your contacts can be saved in the system as well. So even if you are mainly on the broker side and looking to get into private pay, the system is for you as well, because even though a broker may call you to distribute a ride to you, you still have to collect that person's contact information, and you can collect all that information stored in the system. So later down the road, if you ever want to, send out monthly or quarterly newsletters to your client base, you can do that right here from the email marketing perspective. And you can also create what they call SMS or text message campaigns, kind of just offering, you usually get those messages on your phone where it's like, hey, 10% off this week for this and that. You can kind of do the same thing in your business to your client base, all from the system. We talked about the payment system. So if you are using Stripe, PayPal, Square, you can integrate your payment system right into the system, and you can send out invoices to customers. And one of the really good, cool things about the system is that once they're a customer of yours and they've paid for their ride, let's say they have a ride next week, right? You don't necessarily have to send them a new invoice. It stores all the payment information for your client, so you can simply, hey, do you want to use the card ending in 4652 again, right? And you can charge the client right there, right on the platform. So you've got your payment or your point of sale system here. You have your email communication, which will be in here as well. The calendar, which is very, very important, is pretty much what's going to help you stay organized in your business. So imagine this calendar from a monthly perspective. If you've got private pay, you've got broker rides coming in, you need a way to organize that from a daily, weekly, or monthly perspective. And having the calendar, having people confirm their ride through automation, and it feeds into the calendar, you can see everything in one place. So it helps you stay organized, helps you meet your passengers' needs. And then the opportunities tab, which is very important, is as soon as someone fills out the book a ride form on your website, they automatically pop into what we call the sales pipeline. So they'll start here so think of this as a funnel from start to finish, right? So you have a new ride request, they filled out the form, you send them an invoice, they may pay the invoice, or they may say, oh, that's too much, right? So they fall into one of these two buckets. And once they pay the invoice, this automation automatically moves them further down the pipeline for you. And then essentially at the end, you want to make sure that your client or your passengers are getting requests for your service, for the service you just completed. So again, we talk about how your reputation builds into your advertising, because if people see your business, even if you're driving on the street, right, people see your van, the first thing they're going to do is go to Google, type your business in, and figure out, oh, is this a good company? Oh, they got 10, 15 5-star reviews. Sounds pretty good, right? So this helps you stay relevant from a reputation standpoint, but saves you the time of calling every customer after every ride, requesting that information, right? So that the time savings alone on just the Google review piece on the requested review piece is priceless in my opinion. I use high level in my own business as well. Obviously, we have a marketing agency versus an NEMT, but our sales pipeline, our calendar, and our contacts, it's pretty straightforward, and it helps us save a lot of time in terms of engagement, reaching out to customers, collecting payments, and asking for Google reviews as well. So I
Absolutely.
know I probably said a lot or showed a lot, but if y'all have questions, feel free to throw them at me, and we can kind of talk through some of the processes in the middle.
I do want to say that it is important to have automations within your business because it does make things a whole lot easier for you. I remember when we first started our NEMT business, we would literally do a ride and then we would scramble back to the office and send that person an email to ask
Yep.
for them to leave us a Google review.
Yep.
So if we had a system like what you're offering, we could already put those things in place in advance. So I definitely like that for sure.
Yeah. And when you're starting out as a new NEMT, it's easier to have to create your processes in the beginning versus 10 or 12 years in and I'm trying to revamp everything I've done for the past 10 or 12 years. So get started early, right? The processes are going to make you the money or what they say, the profit margins are in the processes, right? So if
Mhm.
you've got great processes and you're saving time and you're saving labor costs, it's only going to help you in the long run from a profit standpoint. So once you purchase the software from us, you automatically get everything we talked about. You get access to the payment system, contacts, all the automations that we know will help save you time in your business. And then there's so much other stuff you can do in high level. If you ever have time, you can literally just Google high level. You'll probably open Pandora's box on YouTube, and there'll be so much content in terms of artificial intelligence, in terms of automatic responses. There's a lot you can do, but start with the basics, and then once you have the basics, you can start growing and seeing what else you need in your business. And I'm sure high level can help you with those solutions for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Monica, because I want to point this out because Harry says there's a lot of information in regards to high level all over the internet, which may be great, right?
Yep.
But
Hmm.
if a consumer goes and just purchases high level product, they won't have some of the things that you have built in high level to help them in the business, like some of those automations, those emails, the
Exactly.
website, all of that
Exactly.
stuff. So pretty much just purchasing high level, you would be purchasing a shell of pretty much.
You would be purchasing a blank canvas, right? So if you're not a
Right.
painter, then you don't need a a canvas. You need the artwork, right? The final artwork, and that essentially what you'll be purchasing from us is all of what you need to get started, hit the ground running as fast as possible.
Yeah. But one of the things that I like about it is it's a one-stop shop. It's everything packaged in one. And so when you were talking about the different subscriptions that you may have monthly, this can be a huge cost savings for a business, especially if you have all of these bundles in one. So I really like that. And I really like the fact that you thought about the NMT industry and how we could benefit from your products. And so I love that. So thank you for definitely thinking of us.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but I want to go back and shift back over to James because I just gotta know, like, how is the NEMT business in a box? How's it working for you? Are you utilizing this product now? And like, what has your success been with it?
Yeah, so we are using this product and it's been life-changing for us, honestly, because like I was saying before, if you're driving, right, you get a missed phone call. What does that mean? That's a missed opportunity.
Mm.
That's missed money, right? And an opportunity to provide service to someone. And when you try to call them back once you get stopped or you're able to stop safely, you call them back, they say, "Oh, we found transportation somewhere else." And it's only been 20 minutes. So they have their list and they're going down the list. And if you don't answer, that's a missed opportunity. So it's been wonderful for us. It's helping us to stay organized with the calendar function that he talked about. So we use all of those functions, and as soon as we get off the call here, I'm gonna talk to Harry about a couple more things I'd like to do. So it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
Awesome.
Mm.
So, with that being said, would you recommend the NEMT business in a box to other NEMT providers?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because like we were saying earlier, everything is there. Before I was trying to kind of piecemeal everything together. I have this service over here, this other service here. So it's just like an all-in-one. It's all inclusive. So we're very thankful, and appreciative to Harry for helping us and being able to explain and follow up with us, and to go over the analytics. It's been great for us and our company.
And you know what? Another thing that I think about is like when we start our businesses, we're like, okay, we're starting this transportation business, but we don't get into the industry thinking that now we have to be SEO specialist and marketing this, and that. And so, like, even for us, I definitely got caught up in that world of trying to Google things and look at YouTube videos about SEO and all of this stuff. And honestly, that's not something that I'm interested in. That's not something that I want to be the expert in. So to have, a company like Osborne Digital that is there to support small business owners in in the way of creating brand awareness through digital marketing, it's
Mhm.
nice to have. And like you said, Harry, Osborne Digital is really focusing on brand awareness and marketing for NEMT, right?
Yep.
And I had a conversation with you not too long ago, where I said, Harry, who are your competitors? Because I don't see them. I don't see anyone else that is willing to step into our community of NEMT providers and say, hey, I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
So I do want to say thank you for thinking of us. Thank you for building systems that will make things easier for us.
Mhm.
But I do know that our viewers will have a question of how much is this
Yes.
business in the box?
Yeah, that's what it boils down to, right? Like, yeah, it sounds cool, but can I afford it? Is it something that I should be implementing in my business right now? So let's talk about price, right? So if you're one of those people like me, I mean, it depends on the service that I use, but if you're a month to month person, then there's an option for you. Or if you are, hey, I want to just pay this for each year, I want to pay this, write it off, and move on to the next year. We have those options for you as well. There's some certain things in my business that I say, yeah, I think I just want to pay the yearly and move on to the to the next thing, so I can concentrate on other things within my business from a cost standpoint. So we've got two separate packages. So we've got the annual commitment discount, which is essentially what it says. You're paying all your fees up front for the year, and you end up saving about $350 for the year by paying the annual amount. The affordable package is the month to month, right? So there's two different ways, or there's two sets of packages within each one of these. There's one where you're just getting the platform, and then there's one where you're getting the platform and we're building the website within the platform for you. So if you already have an existing website and you're fine with how it looks, you don't need any redesigns or anything like that. The package, if you wanted to pay from an annual perspective, would be $1,750, and that comes with a lot, right? You get the sales pipeline, you get the internal ride calendar, you get all the email and text message ride confirmation that will go out to your clients. Your point of sale system is integrated in there as well. And the big thing is that we're going to train you on how to use the system, right? Because just giving you the system and saying, okay, it's set up, go play, right? That's not good enough. So we're going to train you. We're going to give you two training sessions on how to use the system, how to operate each feature within the system so that you can use the system correctly within your business, right? So the normal high level system is and we're talking about the blank canvas. It's a 14-day trial. We're offering a 30-day trial instead of the 14 because we know it takes about 30 days to get everything integrated within your business. You're up and running. You got all the automations going. So you get a 30-day free trial. We were going to train you on how to use it. So if you, depending on whether you want to, pay annually or do the affordable entry package, which is month to month, the cost for the month to month is $125 per month after the 30-day free trial. The only thing you'll be paying for is the setup fee, which would be, if you don't have a website, it'll be $597 for the setup fee. And if you have a website and you want the system, I mean, if you need a website and you want the system, it's the $997. So think about it like this. If I'm brand new to the NEMT business, I don't have a website, I don't have processes, I don't have any of those things, I can get all of that for less than $1,500. That's from creating your website.
Wait a minute, Harry. Did you say all of that for $1,500?
Correct. We
Okay,
can,
because I have providers that are paying over $1,500 just for a website.
Website.
wait,
Yes.
for sure.
Wow.
And that's like, and that's where we're able to save you money because we've built a lot of websites in the past. I'll just be honest with you. We've built tons of them, right? And they all have the same features. I need to be able to know who you are. So I need a home page. I need an about us page that talks about your company, a services page that talks about all the services you offer, whether it's wheelchair, ambulatory. And then I also need a contact or a booking page where I can actually book a ride on your website and you return an invoice or an estimate for me in order for me to make a decision on whether I want to use your service or not. Every NEMT website has those 4 or 5 elements, right? What we've done is that we've taken those 4 elements and said, okay, since every website has these 4 elements, now it's pretty much all about aesthetics. What do I like from a aesthetic standpoint? So what we do is like I said, we have 10 to 12 templates that we know are working in the NEMT industry. We say, okay, based on what you think you want your website to look like, pick from these 10 to 12 templates. We go in, we customize those templates to your color scheme, font, your logo, and then voila, you've got your website for less than pretty much $1,000, right? So that's how we're operating this particular business. So as I mentioned, I know it sounds crazy, but we're able to afford to do it that way because we've put in the work to understand what each NEMT website absolutely needs to run their business. And we're able to pass that savings on to our clients. So yeah, I mean, you can contact us on our website. I know you guys will put the link to our website where you can just schedule a quick consultation. We'll talk about your business. We'll exchange some important information to get you guys started and get you guys set up in the system. And once you're set up in the system, you've got your website running. We'll train you on how to use it. Again, this is going to be for brand new NEMTs or NEMTs who've been in the game for a while, right? So regardless of whether you're using your 100% broker or you're 100% private pay or you have a mix of both, I promise you the system is for you because you need a way to engage your customers consistently and you need to be able to brand your communication to your customers. So, right, we talk about building your brand, communicating with your customers. It's all about engaging and how you engage with those customers. And this system is the best way to engage with your customers for the cost, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I was just thinking about that too, Harry, which lead us to our next question. Like, because I'm sure people are going to say, well, do I need to invest in the cost of this early on in my business? What would you say, like, why is it so important to invest in, professional marketing material early on instead of waiting until you're in a crunch and you feel like, oh, I need to figure out how to put these processes in place? Like, give me some insight about that.
Yeah, so it's funny because most people don't already realize you're already invested in marketing, right? You got a van, you got it wrapped with your brand, your logo, your phone number. So you've already invested. I mean, let's say you go out and buy a brand new wheelchair van, 40, $50,000, right? You've already invested on the marketing side in order to attract people to your business. So now that you've attracted people to your business, it's all about how you're going to handle their inquiry or handle that customer, right? So think about it this way. Marketing, setting up marketing in the beginning is important to build your client base. So I always tell for new NEMTs, it's usually important to advertise the first 3 to 6 months of your business. And then once you got to have a consistent base of business, now you can start trying other avenues of advertising in order to attract more customers. But the first 3 to 6 months of your business, you need to be out there getting your business out there. And the easiest way to do that, obviously, is from a Google advertising perspective, if we're talking about at scale.
Mhm.
And then once you attract those customers, how are you drumming up recurring business? How are you handling that customer? How are you building brand awareness for your business? And I mean, this is giving you exactly what you need for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. Honestly, I like the idea of working on the marketing before you even go and purchase the van.
Yeah,
And
I
the
mean,
reason,
it's a part. The marketing is actually a part of your research before when you're Googling medical transportation, how to get started, how to get a van, how to get insurance. You need to be thinking about, okay, how am I going to approach getting customers, right? So it
right.
all ties into the same thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, this is really good information, and I'm so excited to I'm actually looking forward to, this video being on our YouTube platform because this is a game changer.
Yeah.
And every time I speak with you, Harry, every time you introduce something new, I'm always like, okay, well, can we speak to a customer that has experienced this, right?
Yeah.
And, James, just you coming onto the platform and sharing your experiences and how, this new product has made things easier for you and has allowed you to, operate your business the way that it needs to be operated, I think is amazing. So, Harry, once again, thank you so much. And I do know that Harry does offer free strategy calls. And yes, you are correct, Harry. We will go ahead and put the link for individuals that are interested in your services down in the description of this video. But I do want to ask one last question, and this question is for James because James, you are repping all of those veterans out there that are thinking about,
Yeah.
stepping back into civilian life and starting a business, right? It's almost like starting over again, And so for those veterans that are looking to get into NEMT, can you give them a piece of advice? Yeah, if you could just give them a piece of advice, what would it be?
Yeah, great question, man. That's a loaded question. So when you serve in the military, and especially for a long period of time, it's not an easy transition, right? But the military has things in place to help you transition into the civilian life. If you would like to start a business, they have all kinds of programs that you can use. It's called the VBOC, Veteran Business Outreach Center, that you can go to. They have resources. They help you build business plans for that year. You have um, Boots to Business, and same thing. They do the same thing for you. So it's just a whole plethora of different things that the veterans have. And I'm just appreciative because they were the ones that helped me to become like a service disabled veteran owned business, so which we can do business with the federal government. So people shouldn't be scared or ashamed. They should be proud of their military service and transitioning, and they have services out there that will help you get to where you need to be. You just have to use them. You just have to open your mouth and say, "Hey, I need help," and they're there to help you.
That's awesome. Well, James, you definitely gave them a starting point of where they need to go to seek assistance. And if we have any other veterans or military personnel watching this video, if you know of any other resources that could be helpful, drop it down in the comment section because you're right. We are a community of people, of providers, and, resources are tremendously important in any industry, but especially for this industry. So thank you both so much for being on our platform. We greatly appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.
Yep.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having me.
Yeah. Bye.
You love it when you